Weekdays, 8 a.m. Live, local. Your Fox 29 Morning News starts now.
According to the National Foundation of Credit Counseling, 40% of Americans say they won't be shopping nearly as much this Christmas. Some won't be shopping at all because money is tight, and we anticipate further financial distress. Still, the temptation to spend is there. Here to help us with 5 great tips to save big bucks during the holidays is attorney, author, and director of the Carnegie Group, Shari Olefson. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, John.
Prices are up. Incomes are down for a lot of folks. Many folks are saying that they're a lot worse off than they were at this time last year. So how exactly do we save when holiday shopping this season?
That's an interesting question, and since we're all so different and each of us have different types of people that we need to shop for, there are different tips that work for all of us. So the idea is to look at the different tips that are being offered and then pull the ones that work for you. But we have a full screen with some suggestions that I think will work for most people. And I'll tell you something, John, a lot of these should be applied even when it's not Christmas time.
Right.
Number one is always have a written budget and a shopping list. Don't leave home without it. And you know, I have 2 teenage daughters. You know how they can shop. We don't walk into a department store without this. This is your road map. And if you walk into a store without a written list and budget, you will get lost and you will end up spending more than you would otherwise.
I like the second one, pare it down. We usually end up adding instead of paring.
Well, and you know, a lot of reasons for that. We don't want to seem cheap. We don't want to hurt feelings. But for most of us, there's at least someone on that list that we've been giving gifts to for years without really thinking about it, more out of obligation than out of our heart. And chances are there may be people on your list that are doing the same to you. So this year, even if you don't want to do it permanently, maybe talk to some of those people and say, you know what, just for this year, let's take each other to the movies, let's take each other to dinner, let's do something, let's make homemade gifts or do something else. So pare it down. The next thing is make some cash. And again, with my teenage daughters, we do this every time. Before we go shopping, we clean house. One of the things I have to share with viewers is there's a place called Plato's Closet where you can take your teenagers with their name brand clothing, Abercrombie, Polo, those kinds of things, and make money. My daughter got a check for $100 for her stuff she doesn't wear anymore.
Holy cow.
The other thing is invest in your shopping time. So do your legwork online and make sure you read between the lines on those sales because they're designed to actually make more money for the company, not less. So you want to make sure that you know what you're supposedly getting on sale is really a deal.
Now, despite our best intentions, sometimes we end up going to the mall and it says sale, sale, sale everywhere. And, you know, we want to stick to the budget, but we don't. Do you have any insight to help with that besides that roadmap?
No, and that's a global thing. This time of year, do not be shopping for yourself. That's the number one pitfall. But the other thing is, it reminds me of The Biggest Loser on TV. We all know to lose weight, you need to eat less food. We all know to save money, you need to spend less, but it's hard. Look at the reasons behind why you're spending, including those dopamine levels that we now know go up when you're shopping. And be aware of the sights, sounds, and smells that make you buy. Very
exciting when you're out there and you see sale, sale, and they spray that perfume on you. You say, I'll buy a couple of those for somebody on my list.
Then it's time to return.
Happy holidays, and thank you for joining us today. Back to the news desk.
All right, thank you. Time now for a look at